put that much time and effort into something was very disheartening.
What are we doing today? Moving what?
Pigs!
Pigs! We are at the pig forest. It's not as cold as it was, but it's still a little chilly. Aiden's on that side of the fence with American guinea hogs. We've got to get these nets, so what we're going to do is separate half this paddock off, and that way they can work only that side, let this side rest, because this is where they've been. These little piglets have been coming underneath it, and it makes the mamas mad. And the boar gets all crazy, don't he? We are gonna probably divide each mama, but today that's not what we're doing today. Today we're just trying to get them on that side to let this area rest. This is the best way that we have found to raise pigs. So we're raising them in the poly nets that y'all have seen us do, but we also built the permanent fence around the forest, the pig forest. So we got this built. They're cleaning it up tremendously, but we're gonna put them kind of in this far corner to let this area that they've been in the longest rest. This is where a lot of their manure is. So we want to get them out of this area, put them over there. We'll feed them from that side. We'll also take the big pigs. We're not going to separate them yet, and we're not going to put them in smaller nets because they still have a lot of land to work. We're going to try to put their feed over on that side too, and their water is over there, and that will help them maneuver that way as well. We'll start feeding from that side, watering from that side, and that will give them a break on this side. Their area is not bad at all. However, right here on the fence line is the part that they've done a lot of damage. They still have a lot of land to still cover.
I am made to be free.
I want to gamer, Daddy.
What'd you say?
I want to gamer.
Thank you. You've been filming.
It's on.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Are you gonna film for us?
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta hold it straight up so you can watch it. All right, so we gotta dump this water. Dumping the water, got the charger. Let's come over here. Hey guys. Look how good they've done in this area. There's no abuse to the land. They've not hurt it. There's not junk and manure everywhere, but they've just grinded it up to bloody ground all through here. I kind of cut the stumps down. There's a few stumps in here, and they just kind of rubbed them, and that's good. The only thing we've got to do is get this big tree out of here. But man, this area looks phenomenal. This side, they've hardly ever really come over here because we feed them on the other side, water them on the other side, and they just kind of hang out over there by the gate where the big pigs are. By putting the fence here, that'll help this area be utilized. The last time they were really just targeted right here is when we had the babies with them. So by putting them right here, and that'll help that new area over there rest. Nice. Hopefully some vegetation will grow back up for them. Hey, Mama. All right, you bring it over here. Fill their water up once we'll take the hose that we got on this side, not anymore, but the hose they're using now. And we'll put the other pigs' waters on this other side. That way it makes it easy filling it up. The commercial pigs, they're two right there, and this one right here. We gotta put the charger down there where that line comes in. Mamas are supposed to be delivering very soon. We're excited. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic because we did not have a really good, successful American guinea hog haul last time.
Here, you get this all hooked up.
Okay. I'm anxious to see if they're gonna do good this time. I'm trying to find the best way so they won't actually hit it and knock it off here. I think I'm gonna put the grounding rod in the forest but outside, and put this down and have to be able to turn it off and turn it on from outside, and that way they can't touch it. Yeah, you can walk. This is the hay you guys spread tomorrow. So like that big pile of hay, this is what Aiden's job is this week. He's gonna spread hay in some of the spots that are bad, like this spot right here. See how it doesn't really have a lot of grass? Everything's dead. I mean, it's the season. But this area is where we had pigs last year before we put the net up. Or excuse me, before we put the fence up, when we had nets. So it's growing grass, but not really good. That hay will help seed it. It has a lot of manure in here from where the cows were here. So Aiden will start spreading that old hay right there and getting it all on this area, and that way this grass will start growing a little bit better. Huh? Okay, turn it on. I'm doing something I'm a little nervous about. Oreo, the first mama, we're gonna actually put her back in the forest. Now her babies are 6 weeks. They don't have to be with their mom. They're actually eating food really good, actually surprisingly well. But I need to get Oreo back with Big Red, so that way as they get back ready to breed, that she's with them. There's no moving them at that point, and they're already pretty acclimated. A little nervous, but we're fixing to try to do that after we get these waters started. Since we got the American guinea hogs in one area, we'll be able to now control them a little bit better when it comes to them having babies. So that's kind of why we put them right here in this tighter section. In this day and time, buying fencing is definitely an investment. It's expensive, but the infrastructure is huge, and I love the temporary fencing. Phenomenal, wouldn't go without it. This has just one more hedge of protection, especially with the babies. And with the bigger ones, if they're trying to jump out or you have issues trying to teach them, you got the perimeter to where they're not sitting at the house like they have been before. The bull just got popped right then. We couldn't do our farm without temporary fencing, but having permanent infrastructure is huge too. If we can get her out, we can close the gate. She should go. Okay. I'm thinking about going to get Mr. Jingles and see if Jingles will come in here and hang with them. Since the mama's now gone, he's a lot smaller than them, but they may not pick on him. I don't know. I ain't got that comfort yet. Mr. Jingles has become like a best buddy of mine. I don't want to put him in here and all of a sudden get hurt.
Feet on his head.
Put food on his head?
Yeah.
Right, let's go check Bubby. These are my two favorites. This little girl right here, gorgeous. She looks a lot like her daddy. And then that one, solid brown, looks just like his mama. I mean, it's amazing. The other little mixes, the little pink ones and white ones, those will either be processed or sold. We're gonna try to keep that redness, that Hereford look. So these pigs are Berkshire Hampshire crosses. However, I think the boar has some Hereford in him, and that's where that red's coming from. It's where that stripe is coming from. Like the mix of the pigs, they're just beautiful to me, and I love to see, you know, what color they're gonna have next. Those red ones are gorgeous. So I think we're gonna end up slaughtering off the white pigs, and then we'll have the red pigs to actually start raising up and breeding, and hopefully building a good little herd of good pigs for good pork chops and bacon. It's kind of warming up. It reminds you of spring, huh?
It does.
Getting close to it. I feel like when we're working with these pigs, since winter we kind of took a break. Now we're kind of getting back in that mode where babies are coming and spring is happening. She's starting to really bag up.
Yeah, she's got fat.
And see, that's not even Peppa. Peppa's over there. She is swelling up. Peppa's been laying down a lot, so I'm thinking she's really close. And then those two mamas are the small ones. And one of these are one of the ones who did not have a baby last time. They either had a false pregnancy or had babies and ate them, or they didn't make them and they covered them up when they were in the barn, if y'all remember. All these mamas, Peppa's age is gonna cause her to have issues. I really wanna have her babies stay on farm and be raised as the next American guinea hog crop. These I'll probably sell. I like them, but they're not growing as fat and as full of lard as what Peppa is and her breed of American guinea hog. So they're really on the chopping block. We're really gonna see how they turn out. Now they do see how small she is compared to Peppa. She is a little bit younger, but see, she should at least be big as her two sisters, and she's not. So I'm thinking this is the one that did not have the baby last time, or either had the one baby. I don't know what the situation was, but whatever they don't do right this time, they will be going to turn it into lard and bacon and hams. We utilize the American guinea hog is for lard and for babies. People love buying these babies as pets, and of course raising them up for lard hogs too. So you can usually put a good value on them versus the commercial hogs. So we really need them dropping a lot of babies. If they're not dropping a lot of babies, they're not doing what we need them to do. She's getting old. She's one of the originals, and she's getting some age. Yeah, her and George is gone. That's their baby boy right over here, and he's the one that is now the breeder. We're doing like a line breed on her to see if we can keep a good, healthy, fat American hog. So you see these big puddles? Jennings found them, and now he has gotten his outfit that he was not supposed to get dirty. It's one of his cleaner outfits. It's now covered in mud. So Miss Mac may be mad at him and me. I'll throw Aiden under the bus. I'll tell him Aiden did it too, and he was supposed to watch him. I don't know. He was supposed to be following us, and he found that mud puddle. Like a typical 3-year-old kid would do, he found the mud puddle. Let's see how muddy you got.
My noodle boots.
You got it on the wrong foot. Okay, so that mud right there just dumped out of that one boot. Hey man, why'd you get in the mud? Because why?
Nope. Guilty.
You looking at those pigs? Since we're doing chores, it's kind of the end of the month, first of the month, like we always do, so we're putting basic H, some new minerals out. So that's what they're fighting over there. All right, Daisy, it's time for you to have a baby now. Why ain't you lambing yet? You're big enough to. She's already bagged up and everything, but she has not dropped a lamb yet. Unbelievable. She is, that's Layla. Layla is actually looking good. I think she's bred. Well, of course, I don't think she's heavy bred because she's not at that age to be having a baby yet, but she should have gotten pregnant this last month or so. Now, if you remember Clarabelle, Minnie's baby, the Minnie, you know, Minnie's the one that got killed by the storm. This is her baby. She is growing off beautiful. The only thing is she won't lose a little of her hair naturally, which I don't like. I'd like for them to lose their coat naturally without me having to pull it. Really bred too. I don't think she's as heavy as Daisy is, but she definitely is bred. I'm hoping to see some lambs. Lamb is a great meat source. They're a great grass cutter. They really are a major asset here. Now, Misty does not like the taste of the sheep or the lamb meat as much as I do, but I really have enjoyed it. If you're used to deer, venison, you're used to more of a grass-fed beef, very lean meat, lamb is where it's at. If you're looking for an animal that's a ruminant animal that can easily maneuver on your farm without having a big imprint on your farm, sheep is a good option. I really would challenge you to look at sheep, especially ones like these that are hardy. These are Katahdin. The Katahdin sheep, and if you watched back years ago, and I'll link some of those videos above, when we first got them, they were very sensitive to different grasses, different grounds. They almost died on us one time just because they were used to getting treated. After we kind of broke that cycle on them, they've been good to go, and I've never treated them. I do this. I give them free choice minerals whenever they want it. They can go to it. Sometimes they eat it, sometimes they don't. But then other than that, the basic H, apple cider vinegar regimen every month has been a game changer for them. And man, look how healthy they are. I mean, Trump is huge. He looks phenomenal. And these girls are looking really nice too. Water's filled. Now let's check the pig's water.
Well, here's a cheese update. I have some very unfortunate news. My cheese is molded. So at some point in time during the drying time, I checked it yesterday, which was day 2, and I noticed some mold was starting to grow. So I was like, I'm not even gonna deal with it right now. I messaged our mentors. They're actually our bee mentors, but they make cheese as well. So I messaged her and asked her a few questions, sent her a picture today, which it looks even worse today than it did yesterday. And she said, here are some things that you can try. Don't trash it, try these things. I'm gonna try them, and then we'll get everything in the cheese cave and just kind of periodically check it from here on out. But I am pretty bummed out because it was a whole day's worth of work that literally went into that. And overnight, basically, I felt like it went from good cheese to moldy cheese. Put that much time and effort into something was very disheartening. I'm gonna do what she said to do to try making a brine. I'm gonna take some of what's on the surface off. I'm gonna make a brine. Essentially, it's a brine recipe that she gave me, and I'm gonna soak the cheese in the brine. Fingers crossed, we'll go from there. Yeah, it is very disheartened. Here is a look at the cheese, what it looks like. As you can see, it looks absolutely terrible. So I'm going to try to do my best to follow her instructions and get that cleared up. Not sure what went wrong. I literally followed the instructions step by step, but she said the book wasn't written for our area, if that makes sense, because it's cold weather outside, but we have very high humidity. Different climates and cultures, temperatures, all that plays in. And she said don't get discouraged by it, which I'm very. She said don't get discouraged by it. Try a different kind of cheese, play with the cheeses, do different things. She even shared some of her experiences with me in her first time cheese making, and it is definitely a skill that you have to learn by practice. I'm not going to give up, even though I may take a break for a little while. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to work with this one first and see what I can do with the salt brine, and I'll give y'all an update.
This was not the plan, but this worked out good. I was on the phone, just opened the gate, and the only pig that came out was the white pig. So that helped out tremendously. We're gonna go ahead and try to get the white pig next to the little piglets. That way he could be ready for slaughter, because he will be the first one to slaughter. And this will help him kind of take the amount of food that he's getting and not have to share it. And he can go and grow a little bit more before we actually do the butchering. So let's see if we can get him moved over in this side here. Wow, was that not pretty easy or what? I have to go get the other water out now that we just filled up over there. Get this closed back up. They're there. We'll put this back here to block them. Quite an easy task, don't you think?
A lot easier than it would be to move any other one.
So the pig chores have been extremely easy today. What does that usually mean?
Usually means something else is gonna get out and chase it for a couple hours.
Yeah, so like cows will get out tonight, or
They'll
the
be running
horses.
around by the interstate.
Yeah, something like that. Because that was way too easy. I'm like you, it's just way too easy to move. I think we dealt with what, 15 pigs total, and they all were that easy?
It was very easy today.
Alright, so we move pigs and ride the Ranger, is that what you said?
Yeah.
What else are we doing?
No.
Recap for the day on the pigs. Man, it went really easy. We took a mama and put her back in the forest, took her babies, left them where they're at, and also got the big white pig out. So that was some major easy things. Usually that takes a while. And move the American guinea hogs. Feed and water Mr. Jingles. I thought about putting Mr. Jingles in with those other pigs, but I think he would survive. I don't think he would survive, would he? They'd pick on him, I think. He's like they're all muscular and he's all a little fat boy. You know? Look at him. All right, you take care of him. Let's go in and call it a day.
Standing underneath the lights, looking to each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets,